What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to be taking a look at the magnificent Mecha Purple Leader, or their version of a shattered glass Optimus Prime. So I didn't look at the original, but thankfully Dr. Diecast sent me his version of this guy. He's a big shattered glass fan, so he got this one. I did do an unboxing, so I showed a couple things. You had to put this glass pieces in, and the smokestacks had to be inserted. But other than that, it's pretty much ready to go. This thing has a ton of detail. It's basically designed like a 3-0 figure, except it transforms, which is really kind of mind-blowing. But let's get in close so you can see some of the detail. It's got a really nice head sculpt, and just the paint detail and the sculpted detail is really impressive. You could see, you know, the face has got all the sculpted detail in the head, in the crest, in the mouth plate, all the little rivets. You got the black windshield wipers here. This silver has a wash over it, so it's not just silver paint, it's got like detail on it. It does come with a shattered glass piece. You have a non-shattered piece, but of course it's shattered glass Optimus Prime, so you got to have this. We got the white paint with weathering, kind of a brown wash on top, a little bit of black wash here that continues over here. Silver paint on this with a black, I think it's a spray or a wash, but that looks really good. Gold paint, purple paint. Again, more of that weathered, you know, silver dry brushing. Hands, same thing, blue with silver dry brushing. For the waist, we got gold, silver, and kind of this gunmetal color, and more of that wash all throughout. You can see the legs are painted beautifully. Nice blue paint with weathering, silver paint here, accents. Tires are rubbery plastic. And then you can see the nice pistons here painted in that copper color, more silver detail. Everything's 100% painted pretty much, which is very impressive for a figure that transforms like this. More details back here. It really is accurate. They really nailed it with this guy. It's very accurate to the movie. Let's go over the articulation. So starting off with the head is on a ball joint. It's a ball peg, so the whole peg moves up and down. So down to there, back to there, side to side, rotates around. If you pull up on the crest of the head, you can remove the battery pack. Recommend a spudger or something to get it out of here. But it looks like this. You want it so that the switch right there is on the top. You need two LR44s, and I believe, yeah, plus goes this way. So put the long side facing up towards this. Long side, flat side, I don't know. And this definitely feels like it's too wide, so I don't want to break it. Let's see if we can at least light up the eyes. So there you go. Nice red eyes. It is pretty bright. I'm not going to be able to get the cover on there, but you get the idea. You have that nice bright red eyes for Shattered Glass Prime, which is appropriate, right, to have red eyes. So that looks good. Let's continue on with the articulation. We've got a shoulder rotation on a friction joint here. Feels a lot like 3-0. It's got die-cast metal in there. It's got a butterfly joint built in. So it's a reverse butterfly. You can get a forward butterfly if you fold out this double jointed hinge. You can't get it forward. Just be careful with collisions, but that's a really nice joint. You can lift up on this shoulder piece, and you can see it's got a metal frame. So it's actually one of the advertisements I saw in when this figure came out. There's a metal frame throughout the body, so it's almost built like a model. It's pretty cool. Out to the side, rotation here. This can go up in and out, up and down to get out of your way, so you can get the arm all the way up to there. So that's a nice design. Rotation here at the bicep. I think I mentioned that. You have a double jointed elbow, cover down piece here, die cast. That looks really good. Look at that. That's really impressive stuff to have it on a transforming figure. The hands are on a ball joint. It's a pretty tight ball joint. The hands are not articulated, so they do have replacement hands. Go over that in the accessories. But they can rotate on the ball joint, go in and out. The peg that has the ball joint also has a hinge. So it hinges all the way into there and then all the way out to there. So you can get pretty much any direction you need out of those hands. Yeah, I guess it's got an ab crunch right there. I for whatever reason, I thought this rotated inwards. And be careful with these windshield wipers. But the rotation here at the waist rotates all the way around. Ab crunch down to there. No side to side, but gosh, I remember that going a little bit more. So maybe I'm missing something. Hip skirts will move out of the way. There's one here. This is on a double hinge. So you can, and a ball joint, so you can get this kind of rotated up. One on the back, same thing. It's on a ball joint, so you can get that rotated up and kind of out of the way. Legs are on a drop-down joint, so it drops down to there, which will allow you to kick up to there, back to there, out to the side. That's all on friction, and it is a nice tolerance joint. Again, feels like 3-0. Looks like there's 2 clicks on that drop-down hip joint. It's very tight. And the hip skirts also, are on double hinges, so you can kind of get those moved out of the way. You have a rotation here at the thigh, although it's pretty limited. You don't get a lot, but it does rotate. You have a double jointed knee with some automorphing, so I'm going to show you from the front. You can see there's 1, 2, 3 pieces. Show you from the side. That's pretty nice. And lots of nice detail there too. You have ankle tilts. There is a little piece right here that tends to get in the way. I recommend you just fold that up all the way because it doesn't change the look and it just really frees up the space. But forward to there, back to there. It's got a hinge going this way, hinge going this way, and a rotation. All the movement you would ever want on those feet. Now, as far as accessories, I did mention he comes with the alternate glass piece without the, crack in it. I obviously would recommend having the crack, but just be careful as you're replacing those because of these rear view mirrors. Just be gentle with those. He also comes with replacement hands, so these are on ball joints. You're just going to pop them off. They're pretty tight, so just use caution. But that looks really good. All the hands have a blue paint with a silver wash on top. But yeah, that pointing finger hand. We also get a gripping hand. Looks like this. And it is tricky to get the hand on there. So I already got it on to this one. But basically you can heat this up and get the handle in there. I wouldn't recommend putting it in or removing it too many times. It is a fixed, kind of pliable hand, but you want to be careful with the paint. But it does hold really nicely and the trigger goes into the trigger guard. So we can get this on here, and he can hold that gun really well. It's very light. It doesn't light up or anything, but it looks really good. Sculpted beautifully, painted beautifully. Very nicely done gun. Like I mentioned, you can replace the smokestacks. You get this style smokestack. So if you prefer, I think these are the Earth mode ones. So if you prefer the Cybertronian ones, you can pop these in. They're a little bit thinner. Obviously, my preference, I think these look a little more menacing, these bigger ones. But of course, you have the option. And the last accessory we get here is this beautifully painted chrome, gunmetal chrome stand. And yeah, it looks really good. I don't know if this cover opens up. I've tried. I don't want to break it. I have to imagine this could be used for storage, right? Like you could open this up and put stuff inside of it. It is a fingerprint magnet, by the way, so just know that you want to wipe it down because of the chrome paint. It's beautiful. I don't know how to get it open, and I don't want to force it since it's not mine. But you can set this down, and we can set him on top as a display, and that looks really nice. All right, now we'll get this guy transformed into vehicle mode. And I'm doing my best to show it on camera, and hopefully I can get everything done correctly here. So let's go ahead and rotate the arms at the elbows. So it ends up like that. take the hands, rotate those up. They sit kind of up like this. We can lift this up and out of the way. Same for this one, rotate at the elbow. So you get this in the front, rotate the hand up so it sits like that. And we can rotate this away. We can come to the chest here, and we're going to open this up. And be careful with these rear view mirrors. They are kind of delicate, so you want to be careful. So these are on spring-loaded joints. So as you just detach them and unhook them from here, they automatically go down, as you can see. All right. Next, we'll come to the back here. I'm going to start taking apart some things. So go ahead and lift up on these panels right here, and that will detach these tabs holding it in. It's actually a really cool design. Unpeg these from the side. They're pegged into the side of this center piece here, and just rotate those down. You're going to take this piece, and that's going to accordion down and sit like this. And you're also going to come to the bottom, take this piece, and accordion that up like this. So both pieces are kind of folding up on the backpack. And then we're going to come to the front here, and we can fold these down. Make sure all the hip skirts are down and out of the way. Rotate this around at the waist, 180 degrees. And now we can work on this inner part here. So lift up the arms to get them out of the way. Come to the sides here. You'll see there's a little panel. It's tabbed in right there. So this panel, lift this up. Same on this side, lift that up. Unpeg the chest from the inside here. You can see there's two tabs. So unpeg that, and that'll allow you to open this up. Forgot one step here. Come to the bottom, open this up. We're going to lift out on this panel here. Now you take this piece, you can rotate these hip skirts up and basically bring this down so it's like in front of his thighs. Then we can bring back this whole piece. Very traditional Optimus style. Alright, so you can set this down. I did knock this off. This is just on a ball joint, so you can see there's the ball joint right there. Just get it reattached. It may pop off again, so just be aware that comes off pretty easily. Alright, you can get these rotated down on both sides. And we're going to come to the other side here. And you can plug this back into the bottom. This tabs in. Open these up, and we're going to take these arms and swing these back on these double hinges so they're back and out of the way. Then we're going to rotate these down and to the front. And if you knock this panel off, don't worry, it's just on a ball joint. You can put it right back. Same with this side, rotate this out, rotate this to the front, and make sure that's flat. So you want to get this folded out of here. Oh, and I guess I shouldn't have folded those up yet, but bring this down, and we can see down here are the panels, so fold out those panels and bring this forward. That'll make the front of the cab. Now you can fold in these ab pieces. And we're going to take these and fold these in. Those are going to hide behind the front grille. Give it a little bit of room, rotate that back, and then bring this forward. And again, I knocked off this piece here. Same on this side, open up that side tab, bring this back down. And you can see there's a little slot right here on the front of this piece, and there's a tab here on the back of this. So get that tabbed in right there onto that gray piece. And then same thing for this side. All right, then we're going to get the head rotated down into the chest. So we're going to lift up. There's an extension right here, a slider. So give you a little bit of room to work. And I believe that's where some of the issues I've been having are. That's right where you had to get that collapse back down. But extend that up as far as you can go. That'll allow you to take the head, and that's going to flip around and store in here. Now, I've had trouble getting this fully extended in here, but you should be able to get the head past the front there. And then we're going to fold this flat. Actually, leave that up for now, like that. And that's what it should be looking like. We can bring this in, and this will tab back in on the front of the chest. So get those lined up and pegged in, and there shouldn't be any gap between them now. And then just adjust these rearview mirrors. They're probably going to move on us again, so don't worry too much about them. Alright, bring this panel down, and like I mentioned earlier, make sure you have the arms all the way back. And this one, bring this down, and that's just going to sit right on the side there. For these arms, we're going to rotate them up like this, slide it up so it slides down on that metallic metal joint. I'll show you that again. Slide it up like that. Rotate at the lower elbow, and it's like this, and this is going to come into here and make its way underneath this CAD piece, and it is definitely challenging to get it in there. All this wants to fight you as you're doing it, but I'm going to rotate the arm in. And like I mentioned, it doesn't sit well, and I've had trouble with this. I've tried this a few times, trying to transform it. I actually considered not showing the transformation during this video, but I want to at least try. Alright, so you should have something like that. Then we're going to take care of this. So untab this from here. I need to bring this whole panel down. As you bring it down, you can slide this down, this panel here. Come to the inside, you're going to open up this panel here, and then we're going to bring this panel down, and this will tab back in to that, or kind of just rest on top of it. And then all of this should come down, and you can bring this panel down as well, and flatten that up on the top. And all this is going to come down and sit right in here. Now, I am pretty sure I've got something wrong, because it doesn't quite come together up here. You can see things are not flush, but that's how you do it. So go ahead and do the same thing on this side. Right now we got both arms in there. It's kind of a pain, but make sure these hip skirts are pushed all the way back. We can take this panel, bring this back. That's going to tab in right there. And now we're ready to close this up. This part's a little weird, but flip that open, bring this up, flip open this panel, flip open this panel, and you bring that around, flip open that panel, bring the whole thing up. Again, just a little weird the way it works, but bring this around. And bring this together. There's a little tab in between to get them attached. So let's see, get that together. And then bring this up. Don't get it tabbed in just yet. We're going to have to do a little bit more work, but you can just kind of leave this sitting right there. All right, now let's come to the legs. We'll come back here. We can open up this hip skirt a little bit, open up the legs. And we'll get inside here. We're going to pull down on this. It's tabbed in right here on the top. I'll open up this panel all the way. We can flip this up to here, flip this back, open up this. This is a little tricky, so you got to have it down. Before you can fold it out. So just be careful with that. So it should end up looking like this. Let's bring this back. We're going to take the foot, rotate it in, and then rotate it into the leg right here. Should sit nice and flat. Bring this back. This has a little tab right here on the back that goes into a slot on the bottom of the leg. So get that into there and line that up. And so it should look something like this. So I'll go ahead and do the same thing on this side. We'll do that off camera. All right, once we have both legs configured properly, you can bring them back together. And they're going to tab in a couple spots here, here, and back here. And then there's magnets that hold the feet together. I don't know if they're actually there or not, but here we go. And I had a little bit off, so I had to fix it. And then make sure these make their way together. Make sure the feet are flat. And that's kind of the back of the truck put together. Make sure the knees are straight as well. We're coming to the home stretch. Come to the bottom here, and we're going to work on this thigh piece. So bring these up, hip skirts. This is pushing out and up, so push it outwards. There's the peg right there on the inside. Lift that up. We're going to open up this hip skirt here. Lift this out, rotate it around. This is going to rotate back and then tab in to the side of the leg. There we go. And then this will come on top and peg in to that hip skirt like that. Then you come back to the bottom here and you can bring this back down, peg it back in, bring this down. It should sit nice and flush like that. All right, so do the same thing on this side. All right, now we've got those gas tanks on there. We can come to the bottom here. Going to lift up on this. We're going to open this tab. This is going to unpeg from the side here. It's a little tricky, but there's a tab right here, and there's two slots. There's one up on the higher spot, and there's one down here. So you want it to plug into that lower one. So rotate it forward, get this back down, and get it plugged in the parts. But it should fall flat like that. Actually has a nice piston there. So it should be nice and flush. So you should be able to roll now on those wheels. Last step here, we're going to get this into here. And like I mentioned, I've had a little bit of trouble here on the front. But bring this up. This is going to tab into the front. This is going to tab here into the back of this panel, and then into the top. There's a little peg right here, so get that pegged in. All right, and there is Magnificent Mecha in the vehicle mode, and it is pretty good looking. This is about as close as I could get it. I couldn't quite get that gap closed, but it is a nice looking truck. You got the nice weathered look on the white stripe here. Headlights, fog lights down here, nice silver paint with a wash over it for the grille. On the side, we got the gas tanks here. Wheels are weathered with rubberish tires. Not quite rubber. It does roll on those. In the back, we've got orange and red taillights. Overall, it's a pretty cohesive back for an Optimus Prime. A lot of times, especially at the Masterpiece level, we get really bad backs. This is pretty clean for the back of an Optimus. And yeah, overall it's pretty nice looking. I did forget to mention one thing you want to do for the transformation. These are rotated that way. You just want to rotate them back. We can, of course, swap this out and put the Earth mode smokestacks in there if you prefer that. But I will leave the originals in there. You can adjust these side view mirrors as well. They have some nice tolerance, so they're not like floppy. And for quick size comparison, there it is next to the Magic Square Optimus Prime. You can see this is way bigger than anything in the Masterpiece scale. Not meant to be Masterpiece, but I don't really know what it's going to go with because it's really really big. But if you are, the best thing would be displaying with 3.0. Since those are robot mode only, you could have an alt mode right next to it, and it does kind of look nice like this. So final recommendations on the Magnificent Mecha Purple Leader. I'm going to give this a 4 to 5. I'm going to recommend it. It's a pretty darn good figure. The robot mode looks really good. It's got some very nice sculpted detail with paint. Overall feels very premium, nice and heavy, lots of die cast. And it was really surprising that it transformed into a pretty good looking vehicle mode as well. The truck cab was pretty impressive. The transformation isn't crazy out there, but it is somewhat challenging, so just be aware of that. There's a couple little things, like the windshield wipers do get in the way. They're kind of irritating the way they work, so you got to watch out for that. And then the truck cab, I had a little hard time getting it completely collapsed. Something about the arms not, perfectly configured. But other than that, I am pretty impressed that this is a transforming figure. Now, it is a little too big for a masterpiece collection, so if you're planning to display this with a 3.0 collection, I think it'll fit in nicely. It's nice to have an alt mode. Since 3.0 figures don't transform and we don't have alt modes, this could be perfect for that kind of thing. Putting alt modes with your 3.0 Optimus Prime or something like that. I believe that's what Dr. Diecast is going to do. Now, Dr. Diecast actually sent me his 3.0 Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. So we are going to do a quick comparison with that. And we'll just do a mini comparison here at the end of this review. Not a full-blown one. It'll be a little weird because, one of them transforms, one of them doesn't. But stay tuned for that. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Dr. Diecast for this review. And we'll see you next time.